When Morris Chang first proposed the idea for TSMC in the mid-80s, investors were skeptical. Born in China and educated at Harvard, MIT, and Stanford, Chang moved to Taiwan after 25 years at Texas Instruments. There, the government asked him to create a Taiwanese semiconductor company that would become a world leader. His idea? Focus only on manufacturing, what's known now as a pure-play foundry.
When you're just focused on one thing, you do one thing really well.
Rick Cassidy is TSMC's top executive in the U.S. He's been with the company for 23 years.
The slice we spun out was foundry, and that's what we do. And we put all of our resources into doing that one thing.
Chang bet big on a need that didn't exist in the 80s. When he founded TSMC in 1987, giants like Intel and Texas Instruments took pride in designing and making their own chips. A legendary saying in the industry back then was, "Real men have fabs."
When Morris went out to get funding, he went to many named companies, and they told him, "Morris, your idea won't get off the ground. If you get it off the ground, it can't scale."
But as chips got more complex, making them became an enormous undertaking. Building a fab today takes at least 2 years and $10 billion. It's become nearly impossible for even the biggest chip companies, Intel, NVIDIA, Broadcom, Qualcomm, AMD, to do it all and keep up with the most advanced tech. Intel, for example, still designs and makes its own chips, but it's fallen behind Samsung and TSMC in recent years, even relying on TSMC to make some of its chips.
So if you were a smart designer, you didn't have to have billions of dollars in a fab behind you for the first time with the emergence of TSM.
Now, each major step of chip making is often handled by a separate company. Some, like ARM and MIPS, focus on IP and architecture, providing the core building blocks to design chips. Then there's electronic design automation, EDA companies like Cadence and Synopsys that write the software used to design chips. Only one company, ASML, makes the $180 million extreme ultraviolet light machines required to etch designs into the most advanced chips. And then, of course, there are the wildly successful fabless companies designing the chips. Think Apple, Qualcomm, NVIDIA, and many more. As these fabless companies took off, TSMC found itself on a flywheel, making more and more of the world's chips.